What's up, guys? Your boy Matt Pack 420 here, coming at you with another one. And today we are beating the dead horse known as Colin Kaepernick yet again. All right, so I got this article from WAPO. Well, actually, I went to Archive today and got this article from the WAPO. So yeah, uh, WAPO's garbage. Bunch of leftists work there. They're asking for subscriptions, so I try my best not to deal with them because like all this will be filled with nothing but ads, and every 2 seconds you'll get a hey, subscribe to us and give us $2 a month so we can lie to you every day. But anyway, we're gonna start with this article here. Says Colin Kaepernick calls out the NFL's social justice gestures as propaganda, and that's actually something I totally agree with. This it's definitely is propaganda. We'll get into it here. So this is written by Des Byler. So during the NFL's first Sunday of football, while the league was making numbers of social justice gestures, Colin Kaepernick dismissed its efforts as propaganda and accused the league of blackballing safety Eric Reid. Oh, here we go. This is what this is about. Okay. Kaepernick's former teammate with the San Francisco 49ers, Reid was one of the first players to kneel alongside the quarterback during the national anthem to protest racism and police brutality. Reid has remained a close friend and, with Colin Kaepernick unwillingly out of the league since 2016 season, his close ally within the league. Okay. However, Reid is also on the outside looking in, and he is still a free agent despite playing effectively for the Carolina Panthers the past couple seasons. Which okay, we'll get into that. Okay, Kaepernick noted Sunday the 28-year-old safety set Panthers records last year for positions with 130 tackles and 4 sacks. Again, we'll get into this. Okay. While the NFL runs propaganda around how they care about black lives, they are still actively blackballing Eric Reid for fighting for a black community, Kaepernick wrote on Twitter. At around the 1 p.m. NFL game starts. Yeah. Okay, so we get that. When the Panthers signed Reid in September 2018, it was a few weeks into the season and several months after the NFL Players Association filed a grievance with the league on behalf of his unemployment. The NFL settled the grievance along with one that has been filed earlier by Kaepernick in February 2019 for undisclosed terms. That's right, Kaepernick's suing the league. While neither Kaepernick nor Reid were on NFL rosters Sunday, they were nonetheless made appearances in uniform in every NFL stadium. In a video the league showed before Week 1 game, that's of course, the videos featured performances and lift every voice and sing. That's right, the Black National Anthem, whatever. You know, I had some black folk tell me that this is the first time they ever heard of the Black National Anthem. So just whatever, man. I guess we got the Black National Anthem, and I guess the White National Anthem is the normal national anthem. So what's the Mexican national anthem? Is it like a Cumbia King song? Oh no, it's Salinas. That's right. Oh man. Uh, this is nonsense. Okay, so among the scenes the NFL included was the Kaepernick and Reid kneeling during the anthem during the 2016 49ers game. There was also a close-up of Kaepernick's face showing solemn expressions, and now blah 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 blah. Yeah. So there's the video. I'm not going to click on it. Okay, the NFL also had phrases "end racism" and "it takes all of us" painted on the end zones in Week 1. Yeah, that's not annoying. It's not. Well, it's actually, it's not as annoying as the Black Lives Matter and the different stupid slogans that the players in the NBA have. Like those are annoying, right? But these ones aren't as annoying, but still, that's still annoying. Okay. The league is committed to integrating important causes vital to players and fans, such as social justice, among others, throughout the season. The NFL said in a statement, and it's using "It Takes All of Us" as a title of its season-long campaign, average to level the scale of power, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I saw these shirts floating around that they were wearing with the slogan "It Takes All of Us." I noticed that they're all wearing black. Okay, there's another group that keeps wearing black that's going around and burning that in the cities as we speak. But I digress. We'll get into that later. You know, uh, amid the nationwide protests in the wake of the killing of George Floyd, who pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's belly and threatened to kill her, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said in June that his league was wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier, encouraged all to speak at peaceful protests. He added, "We, the National Football League, believe Black Lives Matter." Okay, let me talk about Roger Goodell real quickly for a second. Okay, Roger Goodell is a $40 million punching bag. Roger Goodell is thrown out to the wolves and to the media for every controversial, well, really just any decision, but mostly controversial decisions, be it a player suspension, like the Zeke Elliott thing, which was kind of questionable if you want to look into the end of the stuff behind that, or the Ray Rice situation. Just the the guy gets shit on, and that's his job, is to get shit on. Um, he is a $40 million punching bag. He has no actual authority. He is the Jack Tunney of the NFL. If you know who Jack Tunney is, like back in the day, the WWE had a faux CEO named Jack Tunney, and he would come out every so often to announce a big match or to like do some kind of promotion or whatever. But he was a hired guy. He was not the CEO. Vince McMahon has and always has been the CEO of WWE, but it was funny that back in the day they used his character Jack Tunney to be the CEO, and then much later Vince McMahon created the character of Mr. McMahon, and the rest is history. But uh, that's what Roger Goodell is. He is a faux authority in the NFL. He has no actual authority. The owners tell him what to do. The owners tell him what to say, and he's a yes sir, yes sir. He's a yes sir. Okay, he does whatever the owners tell him to do. He gets paid a lot of money to get shit on. That's his job. So when he comes out and says he was wrong for not listening to NFL players, okay, that's the owners telling him to go out there and put out some fires. What they don't actually realize, though, is what they're using to put out fires is kerosene. Yeah, that's flammable, sir. So it's making it worse. The NFL followed those statements with a pledge to contribute $250 million over 10 years to programs that address racial injustice. And Goodell in August said he wished the NFL had listened earlier. Again, Roger Goodell is a shell, right? He's just he listener like I don't remember him going out there and condemning players uh back in 2016 for kneeling. I don't remember coming out and saying, "Oh, those players are evil and terrible for doing this. Don't they know the flag? The flag? Oh, the flag! Oh, the flag! Don't they know about the flag? Oh." Yeah, no, he didn't do that. So him coming out saying he wish he had listened earlier, like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, again, they are just pulling shit out of their ass so they can act like they're just trying to put out PR fires. That's all they're doing, right? They think they're in a PR fire, right? They think they are, but all they're doing is just, well, they're throwing gasoline, kerosene, whatever, and they're lighting it on fire themselves, right? Oh man. For anyone who wants to watch Kaepernick play football through, the only way for now will be via the latest installment of the Madden video game. That's another clown show. Oh man, they put Colin Kaepernick in the Madden video game. Madden has a lot of issues. Okay, Madden's 10, 15 years ago are better than Madden's today. The Madden 21 is literally a clone of Madden 10 and Madden 11 and Madden 12 and so on and so on. So there's a lot of problems with the Madden football game, and the fact that they actually dedicated time and effort to putting Colin Kaepernick in the game as a free agent is laughable. Like, it's laughable. Again, there's so many issues with that game, and they put Colin Kaepernick in the football game. Speaking of, I saw a guy do gameplay video the other day of them playing as Colin Kaepernick, and they kneeled in every single play. It was hilarious. I wish I could find the video. I don't know if it got like taken down or whatever, but I don't think it was on YouTube. It might have been a BitChute. I don't remember because I can't find it. So Colin Kaepernick was saying that they're blackballing his boy Ed Reid. Okay, now he talks about here in his quote. He says he set 2 franchise records last year as one of the best defensive players in the league. Now, he did set 2 franchise records last year. Now, we'll get into that. But as far as being the best defensive player in the league, okay, well, let's go over here. Joe Kinsey writes this one. So we go down here. So here's what I wanted to pull out right here. So Kaepernick might have been into something, but then he added Reid is one of the best defensive players in the league. Okay, so Reid 28 hasn't made a Pro Bowl. So again, Reid 28 hasn't made a Pro Bowl since 2013. Okay, let's look at the safety position, right? Okay, so Clinton Dix started 16 games last year, right? Is unemployed and is a year younger than Reid. Started all 16 games, just like Reid. is still unemployed and is a year younger. Earl Thomas. See, this one's this one's great. So Earl Thomas, 31, is coming off of a 2019 Pro Bowl appearance. He had a great season last year. But he's unemployed. Okay, so Ed Reed can't stay out of trouble. Okay, that's his problem. Okay, so Hogland Dix, 16 games, a year younger. Earl Thomas, 31, can't stay out of trouble. All right, just whatever, man. Okay, so it's a tough world out there finding employment, but the woke czar believes the NFL has it out for Reid. Okay, so when you see blue check marks firing off on Twitter this week about Eric Reid being blackballed, keep in mind these other guys out there are just unemployed as caps. Yeah, right. Of course. So, right. So now, as far as Ed Reed setting a franchise record, yeah, he did. He had a lot of tackles last year. Here's why: the Carolina Panthers had an awful, awful season last year. The defense was not great. They got shredded. What they did find, though, is that Ed Reed had a knack for tackling on the off of blitzes, so they blitzed a lot. He got a lot of tackles, but he didn't have any interceptions. Matter of fact, if you look at his interceptions, he never really gets them. Like he's not a handsy safety. His one trick is blitzing and tackling. That's so yeah. He got a lot of tackles. So he was definitely a workhorse last year when it came to tackles. But again, they specifically made him blitz, and he was the guy that tackled. That's like they specifically blitzed him, and he got the tackles. Like he got the record because that's just what they did. They didn't use him in coverage. Like he, I don't even think he was that good in coverage, which is probably why they just said, "Screw it, we suck. Just blitz all day." So that's probably that's probably the reason why he had such a high amount of tackles was the Carolina Panthers were blitzing quite a bit. So now, as far as this stuff being propaganda, that's something I completely agree with. Right? Not necessarily for the same reasons, but yes, this is total propaganda. It is total BS. Right? And again, I'm going to go back to the slogan the NFL was using. What was it? It takes all of us. You notice how all these people were black shirts, white lettering. You know who else uses black shirts, white lettering? Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Okay, so this article here talks about how the Black Lives Matter co-founder describes himself as a trained Marxist. All right, so you may not know that. Yeah, they're trained Marxists, right? They're anyway. This article is talking about how Black Lives Matter co-founder describes himself as a trained Marxist. Yeah, so Marxists have taken over the Black Lives Matter movement. They're dressed in black like Antifa, which Antifa and BLM are pretty much the same thing now. Like if you notice the protesters are dressed in black, and they're a bunch of rich white kids dressed in black, and they're burning a bunch of black communities down, and in the name of black equality, so. Whatever. So, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrice Couliers said in a newly surfaced video from 2015 that she and her fellow organizers are trained Marxists, making clear their motive, ideology, foundation, according to a report. So, if you actually go to like their site, I think it says something like they are built on breaking down the patriarchy and ending the nuclear family and just all this leftist nonsense. Like yeah. The BLM has been taken over by Marxists, Antifa. They're one and the same. So this has nothing to do with police brutality. This is all propaganda from Black Lives Matter, and it is injected into sports now. So we got a bunch of players who are kneeling, a bunch of players that are like Colin Kaepernick who've made a career off of being woke and actually propagandizing. That he has made like more power to you, man. Like you were like get woke, go broke's a thing, but like go broke and then get woke. That's a thing too. Colin Kaepernick did it. He was he was down the drain when he got figured out by the league, and he just was not as good as he was. Harbaugh left, and he got found out, and that's when he started to kneel, and here he is. He's got a deal, I think it was like $4 million a year or it was like I don't know how much it was. I think I read somewhere that it's a big deal from Nike, and he's not even in the league. Like, he's in a Madden football game, and he's not even in the league, right? He's on Madden, not in the league. He's got a Nike deal. He's not playing. Like, the dude played the system, so more power to him. Like, for real. I'm willing to bet these players in the NBA and the NFL, because they live in such a bubble, and in the NBA's case, a literal bubble. Because they live in such a bubble, and they believe uh, a lot of fake news media like WAPO, who's over here trying to portray this as like a blackballing of players, and as a racial issue, right? Because this publication is dying, right? like like I said, get woke, go broke, right? Well, I believe publications like the WAPO are going broke, so they're trying to get woke. It's just not working out for them because it's just it's garbage, right? It's propaganda, and we see through it. Like, this is all propaganda, right? Absolutely right. It is propaganda from this organization right here, and it's everywhere. It's in the universities. It's in the schools, it's in the movies, it's in sports, it's in video games, it's everywhere, and it's growing. This crazy ideology, this Marxism, and people don't actually realize it. Right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. These people don't realize what they're doing. I'm willing to bet these players don't know what they're kneeling for. Like, I'm willing to bet they don't know the facts of George Floyd. I'm willing to bet they don't know that he had a gun pointed at a pregnant woman's belly and held her there while his friend robbed her house. I'm willing to bet they didn't know that Breonna Taylor was basically the bottom bitch of her boyfriend, who was living that thug life, slanging drugs, right? I'm willing to bet they don't know the whole facts behind Jacob Blake, who had a knife, right? I'm willing to bet they don't know any any of the facts. I'm willing to bet all they know is police, black, bad. Like, that's it's like they're trained to, like, emotionally. They're trained emotionally. These people, these leftists, right? They're trained. They're like, it's like a dog whistle, like they're looking for trigger words, and when those trigger words are there, boom, they're just, it's there. So these people are insane, right? It's all over the place. So I don't know if I'm gonna be watching a whole lot of NFL this season, right? My Cowboys are trash. They lost. I'm like, I have no faith in them, right? And the propaganda that's in the league, and the propaganda that's in the NBA and the NFL, like, I'm done with it. So um yeah, that's all I got. Rant over.